Hello, sixth graders. So we are in our study of civilizations, and we're going to talk about the features of a civilization. Remember, a feature is a special characteristic, and many scholars and historians believe that there are eight major features or characteristics or parts of a civilization that make them civilizations. And remember, civilizations are kind of complex, often large societies that grew from the development of cities over time. So, today in this video, we're going to look at number one, which is advanced cities. So, you're going to fill out this section in your notes and you're just filling in the blank. All right, so when we get to the PowerPoint, everything that is underlined is what you're going to write down in your notes. So here we are on number one, the first feature of a civilization. So the first feature is advanced cities. Now we want to remember that a city is a large group of people who live together. Often cities are centers of trade or the exchange of goods. You have people growing food and exchanging it for products that other people are making. And it's kind of a center where everyone is coming together and trading and living together. Um, so, how cities develop is you have food surpluses. That means they have too much food and a large enough supply of food that it supports the population, right? So there are more children, there are more people, and people have enough food to survive, and they're living longer lives, and they're healthier because they have enough food. So it's a larger population. And what happens is the population grows, or as the population grew, villages transformed into thriving cities. So the population is increasing. More people are going and flocking to cities because it is, like I said, it's the center for trade. It's the place to get the things that you need in order to survive. And a lot of times when we look and think about cities, one of the things that we think about is, like cities with skyscrapers. And that's not really necessarily the case. Like, this is a picture of Boston. I think we often see and think that, this is the only way a city looked. But in fact, our earliest cities in the world really looked more like this, which is a Sumerian city state. A lot of times city states are by bodies of water, okay? Because first of all, you need water in order to survive. You have this kind of really, really fertile land that's around, and the river often will flood periodically, and it deposits the silt on the ground, and that makes the land very fertile and have a lot of nutrients so that you can grow food. And when you have more food, like I said, you have a food surplus. You have more than enough food to support your population. Your population begins to grow. And then small areas become larger and larger cities. And these advanced cities, they're pretty organized. Here you have resident dwelling where people like you and me would live. This is kind of a main artery to get in and out of the city for water and transportation throughout the city. And then over here you have temples. And you have various other government entities that are going to be kind of all in the same area. So that's kind of what our first cities look like. And remember, through our study of Katal Hayuk, it's like they had some of these elements, but not all of them. And that's why we would call them that more Neolithic settlement rather than a civilization. Okay, so I hope you learned a little bit. There's one more thing I want to show you. Like I said, I just showed you, this is a reconstruction of the Sumerian city of Ur. So those are the fields. Here we're approaching the temple. These are where people would live. Kind of small one-story dwellings that were only a couple of rooms. Okay, so that finishes our study of advanced cities, which is the first feature of a civilization. And the clue for this first stop in our videos is the word duck.